The Bible, a treasure trove of divine wisdom, offers us glimpses into the mysteries of heaven. These aspects of heaven are described in biblical prophecies and teachings, presenting a picture of an awe-inspiring, perfect final home for believers. But what will heaven be like, and what does the Bible say about this amazing place? In this video, we will show you 10 beautiful facts about heaven in the Bible that will fill you with awe and joy. Number 10. No sun or moon. The first fact about heaven is that it does not need any sun or moon. This is what Revelation 21 verse 23 tells us will be the case in the New Jerusalem, where the glory of God illuminates it, and the Lamb is its light. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. This absence of sun and moon in heaven signifies to us the incomparability, the superiority and the transcendence of the divine. Heaven is not a place where we will need any natural or created sources of light, for they are nothing compared to the supernatural and uncreated source of light, God Himself. God is the one who created the sun and the moon, and He is the one who can replace them with His glory and presence. We will not lack any light, warmth, or energy, for God is the one who gives it illumination. Heaven is so ethereal to us because it is a place of ultimate perfection and the satisfaction of every good desire. The book of Revelation assures us that those who live there have washed robes and white garments, chapter 3, verse 5. They are spotless because in heaven, sin no longer separates us from God. Sin does not exist there. Every tear is dried and every wound is healed. Number 9. Eternal worship. You must have read in the scriptures that praise always moves God. If that is the case, think about how God is moved in a place of perpetual. This is what the Bible tells us is the activity and the attitude of the angels and the redeemed in heaven, who worship God day and night, serving Him and praising His name forever. Revelation 7 verse 15 and 22 verse 3. The eternal worship in heaven shows proof of the purpose, the meaning, and the goal of life. Heaven is not a place where we will have no feelings, but a place where we will have the deepest and strongest emotion, affection, and passion for God, who is the source and the object of our love. Heaven is not a place where we will have any boredom, emptiness, or discontentment, but where we will have the greatest and most lasting fulfillment, satisfaction, and delight in God, who is our life's giver and reward. Number 8. A place of unity with God. The next fact you must know about heaven is that it is a place of unity with God. This is what the Bible tells us will be the ultimate and eternal state of those who are in heaven, where they will see God face to face and where His name will be on their foreheads, symbolizing belonging and divine approval. Revelation 22 verse 4. The unity with God in heaven shows us the intimacy, the closeness, and the fellowship of heaven. Heaven is not a place where we will be distant, separated, or isolated from God, but a place where we will be near, connected, and involved with God. The unity with God in heaven also shows us the likeness, the conformity, and the transformation of heaven. Heaven is not a place where we will be different, opposed, or unchanged from God, but where we will be like, aligned, and changed by God. The unity with God in heaven also shows us the glory, the honor, and the reward of heaven. Heaven is not a place where we will be ashamed, dishonored, or unrewarded by God, but where we will be glorified, honored, and rewarded. Number 7. Streets of gold. As we journey through the New Jerusalem as described in Revelation 21 verses 21, we find ourselves walking on streets made of pure gold, as clear as transparent glass. This isn't just any gold, but gold so pure and refined that it's like walking on a sea of glass, reflecting the glory of God in every direction. It's a city of unmatched beauty and splendor, where every corner reveals a new wonder. Heaven is often depicted as an otherworldly paradise, the world as it was meant to be in its original perfection. It's a place so different from our daily experience on earth that we cannot comprehend it. Yet it's filled with familiar pictures that express truths about heaven. It's a place of splendor, majesty, and beauty, an enameled and regal city of jewels and gold. Yet it is also a place designed with us in mind, John 14 verses 1 to 6. This takes us to our next point. Number 6. Many mansions. One exciting fact about heaven is that it has many mansions or rooms. This is what Jesus told his disciples before he went to the cross to comfort them and to assure them of his promise in John chapter 14 verse 2. The many mansions in heaven shows us the vastness, the spaciousness and the abundance of heaven. Heaven is not a crowded, cramped or limited place, but with abundance of space for everyone who belongs to God. The many mansions in heaven also show us the preparedness, the readiness and the anticipation of heaven. Jesus has prepared a place for those who follow him in this divine city. He mentioned that there are many mansions in his Father's house, suggesting a place of vastness and preparedness. These aren't just any mansions, but heavenly dwellings made for each believer, signifying God's love and care for each of us. The many mansions in heaven also show us heaven's diversity, variety, and uniqueness. Heaven is not a dull, monotonous, or uniform place, but a place where God has designed a space for each of his children according to their personality, their gifts, and their desires. From here, we get to the fifth point. Number 5, gates of pearl. Another interesting fact about heaven in this video is that it has 12 gates, each made of a single pearl. This is what the Bible tells us will be the entrances to the New Jerusalem, each gate having the name of one of the 12 tribes of Israel, as seen in Revelation 21 verse 21. The gates of pearl in heaven show us the purity, the beauty, and the rarity of heaven. Heaven is not a place where we will find any impurity, peril, or commonness, but where we will find the purest, most beautiful, and most precious things that God has created. The gates of pearl in heaven also show us the access, the entrance, and the invitation to heaven. Heaven is not a place where we will be barred, excluded, or rejected, but where we will be welcomed, accepted, and received by God. The gates of pearl in heaven also show us the identity, the heritage, and the belonging of heaven. Heaven is not a place where we will be strangers, foreigners, or outsiders, but a place where we will be part of God's family, God's people, and God's kingdom. Hallelujah. Number 4, the river of life. The fifth fact you should know about heaven is that it has a clear river of the water of life, as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and the Lamb. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Revelation 22 verses 1 and 2. The Bible tells us this will be in the middle of the street of the New Jerusalem, and on either side of the river, the tree of life. The river of life in heaven shows us the source, the origin, and the fountain of life. Heaven is not a place where we will depend on our resources, our abilities, or our efforts, but a place where we will rely on God's grace, God's power, and God's provision. The river of life in heaven also shows us life's quality, purity, and clarity. Heaven is not a place where we will experience pollution, contamination, or distortion, but where we will enjoy life's fullness, richness, and brightness. Number 3, no more suffering. It is very uplifting to know this truth, that in heaven there will be no death, sorrow, crying, or pain. This is what the Bible tells us will happen when God wipes away every tear from our eyes. When he makes all things new, Revelation 21 verse 4. The absence of suffering in heaven shows us the contrast, the difference, and the departure from earthly experiences. Heaven is not a place where we will face the same troubles, trials, and tragedies that we face on earth, but a place where we will be free from all the effects of sin, evil, and death. The absence of suffering in heaven is a sign of God's comfort, consolation, and compassion. Heaven is not a place where we will be ignored, forgotten, or abandoned by God, but where we will be healed, restored, and embraced by God. The absence of suffering in heaven also shows us the joy, the peace, and the happiness of heaven. Heaven is not where we will be sad, angry, or afraid, but where we will be glad, grateful, and confident in God. And this takes us to number 2, the tree of life. Wouldn't you love to know what the original tree of life that God planted in Eden looks like? This tree of life will bring healing to the nations. Revelation 22 verse 2 tells us this will be on either side of the river of life, bearing 12 kinds of fruit, each yielding its fruit every month. The tree of life in heaven shows us the connection, the link, and the bridge between heaven and earth. Heaven is not where we will be isolated, separated, or alienated from the rest of creation, but where we will be reconciled, united, and integrated with the whole creation. The tree of life in heaven is proof of the variety, the diversity, and the multiplicity of life. Heaven is not a place where we will have only one kind of food, one kind of taste, or one kind of flavor, but a place where we will have many kinds of fruits, each with its own unique and delicious taste and flavor. The tree of life in heaven also shows us the healing, the restoration, and the blessing of life. Heaven is not a place where we will have any sickness, disease, or curse, but a place where we will have health, wholeness, and wellness for ourselves and the nations. From here, we move to our next and final point. Number 1, a place of God's throne. You must have read in the scriptures that praise always moves God. If that is the case, think about how God is moved in a place of perpetual. This is what the Bible tells us is the activity and the attitude of the angels and the redeemed in heaven, who worship God day and night, serving Him and praising His name forever. Revelation 7 verse 15 and 22 verse 3. The eternal worship in heaven shows proof of the purpose, the meaning, and the goal of life. Heaven is not a place where we will have no feelings, but a place where we will have the deepest and strongest emotion, affection, and passion for God, who is the source and the object of our love. Heaven is not a place where we will have any boredom, emptiness, or discontentment, but where we will have the greatest and most lasting fulfillment, satisfaction, and delight in God, who is our life's giver and reward. Heaven is more than just a place. It's the actual dwelling place of God Himself. Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye build unto me? And where is the place of my rest? Isaiah chapter 66 verse 1. God's throne resides here, symbolizing His supreme authority and sovereignty. Imagine the grandeur of this divine throne room, radiating with the glory of God, a sight so magnificent that it surpasses any earthly comparison. Heaven is not just a place, it transcends as a mere location. It serves as the divine abode of God Himself. It's the epicenter of divine authority and judgment, a testament to heaven's supreme importance in the cosmic order.